Good evening, Norwich. Who hasn't want to say that? That would be me. Today I'm here to talk about branding for attracting investors. So a lot of you will want to attract investors to put money into your deals, and so I'd like to talk to you about that. Who here has an investment property? That's a property that you are making money from. Not the people sneezing. Who wants to do this? Yeah, okay. So quite a lot of people. Yeah, okay. I'm going to, as there's quite a lot of you that want to invest in property but are not already doing it, I'm going to change my presentation slightly so that I'll tell you a bit more about what I've done to give you some advice and not just talk about the branding, because that's kind of the next step. So, branding to what does it say? Branding to attract investors. How much credibility do I have with that? I'm branded now. I've got a lot more credibility, and that's what I'm going to be talking to you about being a brand so that you have credibility, so that people believe what you're saying is actually true. So the things I'm going to talk about, branding to attract investors. So what do I know? Who am I? You don't know who I am. I'm going to talk to you about what a brand actually is, because most people don't know that. I'm going to talk about why I think you all should be brands. Then a little bit about what kind of brand you're going to be, how you put together a brief. So that's how you ask a branding agency to create a brand for you based on who you are. And then I'm going to introduce you to the team. So we're a virtual team, which we'll come on to in a minute. So what do I know? So I started my career at Saatchi & Saatchi. Great place to start. Everyone's heard of them. Everyone knows them. Fantastic ad agency. And these are the brands I worked on at Saatchi. So it looks actually quite random. But it's actually Carlsberg Text, I can't even say that now. Carlsberg, Tetley, and all of the others are Procter & Gamble. So they're all owned by just two companies. I then moved on to Mediacom. No one's heard of them. They're a bigger, better agency with bigger and better clients. And they do better strategy. And I worked on Royal Bank of Scotland, Virgin Money, Aviva, some food brands and stuff. And then I moved on to Starcom, where I worked on Barclays. I did the Barclays Premiership sponsorship. That was something that my strategy led into. And UBS, they were a really big client. They were a £120 million client. I had people working for me in 5 continents. And then I'll just go back a slide. And then and some other brands as well, like Cadbury's and. Yeah, so by the time I got to this point in my career, I'd found my place, which was understanding money and food. Money and food, that's me. Money and food. Honestly, money and food. When's your Domio day? That's me. Oh, I did that. Yeah, I did. I understand food, I understand money. So I left the industry. I was working at the time. I was working for Barclays, and Barclays Private Clients, which is the top tier of customers. I took a brief from them, and they said, "Why? We're targeting people that have recently come into £15 million." I was like, "I'm ready. How do you come into £15 million recently?" And they said, you start a business in your mid-30s and you sell it in your mid-50s. And I said, I'm 34. They said, okay. So I set up my own business, which is Reynolds, which was I call it a coffee shop because that's a shortcut, but it's like Pret, but premium. Set it up, I was 35 when I set it up. At 42, I sold the business and retired. So what is a brand? Okay, so this is me being Mr. Brandy brand. What is a brand? So most people think of a brand as this. They think of colours and they think of fonts and a name and everything. But actually, what a brand actually is what other people think about you. So it's not about how you project yourself, it's about how people think about you. So if you want to be a really good brand, you want to be like Richard Branson. So he's Virgin. I worked on Virgin Money. Excuse me. Bloody stickers. So when I think of Virgin, what I don't think about is the font. I don't think about the font or the colours. I don't think about anything like that. When I think of Virgin, I think of really good customer service, innovative, being different to the rest of the industry, and good customer service, and being good at what they do. So as I said, I worked on Virgin Money. So this is a logo. Virgin is a brand. It's a different thing. It's separate. It's different. But I worked on Virgin Money, and so I stole one of their slides. This is what Virgin say their brand is. They say fun, value for money, quality, innovation, competitive challenge, brilliant customer service. None of that is a colour or a font or a logo or anything. It's about who they are. So when you think of yourself as a property investor, you have to think about who you are, not about a logo or a font. You need to think about what it is you actually stand for, and then you've got a much better chance of succeeding. So one of these is the Bank of England, and the other one isn't. And the reason the Bank of England looks like that is because they've invested in themselves as a brand, but also they've invested in the education, they've read the books, they know what they're doing, and so when you go to them, you feel like you're in a safe pair of hands. There's also the Royal Bank of Scotland as well. But yes, you're right, yeah. So when you present yourself as a brand, you want to be looking professional. You don't want to look like the man in the caravan, because no one's going to give you the money. So look like a professional.